Alrighty, so Dokkan is releasing a big update in October that may be impacting you or may not be impacting you. They will be reversing a feature, no pun intended, that will, change the way that dupes are going to be operated moving forward. So if you're interested to learn more details about this update, go ahead and stay tuned during this video. But we're going to be covering a few things from the news tab and just go over a couple big updates that are coming and a couple ongoing issues. So if any of that interests you, stay tuned. And if you enjoy this one, don't forget to leave a like before you go. Now, this feature that Dokkan is getting rid of is something that I think will make the game overall better for newer players and stuff like that. But if you are a hardcore collector and stuff like that, this is going to be probably a bad change for you. But however, I think in the long run, this will be a good change for the majority of players, right? This is really affecting like the 1% in the hardest way possible, right? So what am I talking about? The update coming today. It is in here in the note. We'll just kind of read this as the words and then we'll talk about it, right? Thank you for your dear players. Thank you for your support of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We are scheduled to discontinue the reverse feature during the version update in October. During the version update, characters in their reverse states will be returned to their states after awakening. After the version update, you will be able to level up super attacks and unlock hidden potential routes without reversing a character. Please note that after the update, you will no longer be able to reverse an awakened character and set the reversed character in my profile. Big one right here. In addition, along with the discontinuation of the reverse feature, adjustments will be made to the events where the Awakening Medal, Incredible Hourglass, can be obtained in Baba's shop. The Incredible Hourglass you own will automatically be converted into Hercule Statue Gold during the version update. And then regarding super attack level, if a character on the training character growth path is selected as the training partner, the training character super attack is guaranteed to level up regardless of the training partner's rarity. Even if the training partner is not from the same growth path as the training character, the super attack will still have a chance of leveling up if there is a character with the same name as the training character on the training partner's growth path. More details regarding this will be in the future. Stay tuned, and we hope you continue to enjoy playing Dokkan Battle. So, again, big update here, right? You may be wondering, how is this going to be affecting me? With that being said, let's go over a few of the different scenarios that this could be impacting you. One, you are a new player and you are just still working on Dokkan Awakening your box and you don't have a lot of characters just sitting in their reverse awakened state. This will not affect you. Number two, you have characters that are reverse Dokkan Awakened because you have to feed dupes in and you have not reversed them yet, right? You're concerned that maybe like something bad will happen. No, you're fine, right? Like all you have to do is just go like re-reverse them, right? That is something that you have to keep in mind. And then number three, the big scenario that the people who are upset are going to be branched into. And so I feel like not everybody's upset, but it's just like this is definitely going to be a pretty big inconvenience, I would say. You are somebody that has like the TUR of an LR reverse awakened because you get power level 4 Dokkan Awakening characters. So let's just to kind of like put a visual to this so it's a little easier to understand. Let's take the new Broly for an example, right? You had extreme luck on the double rates banner and you pulled 7 copies of this Broly with like you got extra with tickets that you didn't need and stuff like that. For example, you have the TUR version of this Broly, and then you also have the LR Broly. Now, again, you're going to get power level points for awakening this character into the LR state. So what you would do is awaken him into the LR state, and then reverse him back into the TUR state so you could use this character as the TUR, and then you would also have the power level points for Dokkan awakening him to an LR. Now, you aren't going to be losing the power level points, but you are now going to have 2 versions of this Broly in the box, right? It's going to be your main one that's rainbowed and then the one that isn't. Or maybe you're a huge whale and you have 10 of these, right? Again, not applying to the vast majority. I would be surprised if anybody viewing this video has 10 copies of this Broly, right? That's just not like a realistic scenario for the vast majority of the players in this game. So what this is going to mean is you're now going to have 2 Rainbow Brolys, and you can no longer access the TUR version via the Reverse Awakening feature. So in the future, what we're going to have to do is get the TUR of this Broly and not Dokkan Awaken him into the LR if you want to keep the TUR. Now, Now that we kind of understand how this is going to be working, I want to talk about the positives for this update and I want to talk about the negatives for this update, right? Let's start with the positives. If you are a newer player and the reverse awakening situation that you have can scare you, I think that makes sense. Now, again, I'm speaking to very not results-based analysis, but very specific examples of comments that I get regarding something like the reverse awakening feature. This can sometimes be scary to a newer player when they pull a dupe of a character and then they realize or they reverse awaken them and then they're back to the UR state. And then sometimes I'll get a comment of somebody panicking and they'll be like, nobody told me that reversing the character means they go away from LR, right? Now, again, this is a very easy reply to that user. You just tell them, hey, it's not a big deal. Like, there's a button in the game where you just re-reverse them. And this is just how the hidden potential system works right now. Now, that is not how this system is going to work. It's going to make dupes easier to put in for most players. It's going to take away the need to farm for incredible hourglasses, which is always nice. Those can be a pesky item, especially at the beginning. And it's just going to make the ease of access for the game better, right? I think the more convenient thing for the casual player, the better, because at the end of the day, new players logging in and staying on the game, aside from people directly putting money in, is one of the biggest and most important factors of the game, right? New people playing and enjoying the product and realizing that there's things to do, right? And making the game more accessible to newer players, I think, is, again, one of the more important things that you need to do. So now with this update, you are removing the confusion of what the reverse feature means, and you are making dupes easier to put in, and there's less chance for a player to panic and potentially be upset that their LR character is now a UR again, right? That's a very basic sort of way to explain the positives here. Again, it's very, very, very important to appeal to the casual player, right? I understand that if you are not a casual player, like, it can be frustrating at times, but you have to understand that, even if they're like, the more players that are playing the game means there's more opportunities for the player to spend money, right? And that is what is important for Dokkan. And again, I'm not encouraging you to spend money. I'm just telling you that newer players, just statistically speaking, means there's a higher chance of someone saying, I don't feel like playing the Festival of Battles for my 60 stones. Here's $10, right? Like, that's just sort of how it goes. Now, again, where's the negative of this update, right? We've kind of talked about the good things, how it's going to help casual players. It's going to make things a little bit easier to understand. There's less of a confusion. The negative, again, we kind of mentioned this earlier, is there is going to be a significant portion of the player base that is now stuck with a lot of reverse Dokkan Awakened characters that are now going to be coming up as duplicates, right? And especially if you are a big time spender, right? Again, I'm not expecting most people. This does not apply to most people, but it is a negative for the update, right? There's other things in there too. You now are going to have, like, if you're somebody who goes for the TUR of LRs, maybe not even new ones, like old ones, like even I have some like TURs of LRs, right, that have just been sitting in the box. You now are going to have 2 copies of the LR, so it's going to be more annoying to sort through the box. You're going to have to make like a specific tag of characters that you're going to use. I think that maybe that's something you should be doing anyway, to be honest. Like, it just makes things a little bit easier so you don't have to sort through so much junk. But it's going to make the box more confusing. And really, I think where it comes to, like, one of the worst changes from this is, again, not one of a gameplay element, but a way of players being able to express themselves right here via this. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Please note that after the update, you will no longer be able to reverse an awakened character and set the reverse character in my profile. One of the most fun things to do, in my opinion, is like reverse Dokkan Awaken a unit I don't use anymore, or get like an SSR of a Dokkan character or a Dokkan Awakenable character and maybe not Dokkan Awaken in them, so I can have them as my little profile character, right, in the My Profile tab. More specifically, on the game right now, I have the SSR art for Beast Gohan on my account, right? So if we go to Exploding Rage here, the SSR art for Beast Gohan is really cool. So not Blue Goku and Vegeta. No, I'm clicking everything. But if we go to Beast Gohan, right, I think this is like one of the best SSR arts in the game right here, right? So when it pops up, so what I like to do is set this Beast Gohan as my little profile character here. Now, with this in specific, what I did was I Dokkan Awakened him into an LR, so that way I could get my link levels for him, right? This way I could have 2 Rainbow Link Level 10 Beast Gohan LRs in my box, just for fun, right? Why not? And then what I did with the second one is reverse Dokkan Awakened it and put him as my profile. Now, with this new feature, I'm just going to have 2 Rainbow Beast Gohans, right? And now I'm going to have to like sort of like look for the skill orbs and stuff like that. And again, it's a suffering from success problem, if you will, but it's also suffering from pulling a unit more times than you need to. So this kind of decentivizes the purpose of like holding on to a character rather than exchanging them for coins and stuff like that. So it's just a bit unfortunate that like these things are happening, but again, it's also not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. Thankfully, I don't have like hundreds upon hundreds of Dokkan reverse Dokkan Awakened characters in my box. I guess I don't love Dokkan that much. I guess that's the gauge, or I just like or I don't summon enough. Like I just don't have hundreds of TWRs or SSRs of characters rainbowed and sitting reverse Dokkan Awakened, and some players do, and that's awesome, right? Like the passion of those players is one of the reasons as this game has went on for as long as it has. So that is basically one of the big negatives of the feature, is that you're no longer going to be able to put like characters like this on the display tab without pulling another copy, right? Now, you may be thinking, like, just because it's kind of a confusing thing, it's like, are we going to be pulling like characters as LRs? Like, are they just going to be coming out of the box as an LR? No, the SSRs are still going to exist, but you will no longer have to reverse awaken them to put the dupes in. So in the long run, this is going to help for players being confused, and it's also going to help for just making putting dupes in easier, right? This is always, I think in the end, this will be a good change, but it is unfortunate that we are losing access to, being able to have a little bit more fun with expressing ourselves on the My Profile thing. And that is one of my favorite features of the game, kind of just pulling up my power level and then seeing a really cool SSR art up there. I like seeing what people do with that, right? Sometimes you see some unique SSR arts that you're not used to seeing, and it just makes for a fun experience. But that's just my opinion. So that is all there is for this update, but there are two other things that we're briefly going to go over. There is an issue with the following issue. After tapping a character in Giru's Guide, some players experience a display issue where the event images appeared in a language different from the one selected, and it has been fixed. So if you opened up a Giru's Guide and all of a sudden your game was in Korean, you're not going to have to worry about that anymore. And then last but not least, we have an issue that has been fixed where the issue was the text new may be displayed on previously cleared stages, and that is no longer going to be a problem, right? Dragonstones weren't affected and all of those other things. So just wanted to cover this update for you guys. We have new red zone stages and stuff like that. Maybe I'll do guides for those stages. Maybe I won't. Just depends on if you guys want them or not. Let me know in the comment section if you do. If there's enough demand for it, no problem. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy this one. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you were new. Big thank you to all of my members on the YouTube side of things. If you want to become a member yourself, you can click the link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.